Chapter 5. Oh my God, he's missing! When Mom jumped from her chair and screeched back from the table, the whole dining room went quiet. Everyone was staring at the door towards Maggie, Lizzie, and the little boy. It's okay, Dad jumped to. Don't worry, Maggie will find him. Charles wasn't sure who Dad was talking to. Or to Lizzie or the rest of the people in the dining room. But it seemed to help. Lizzie nodded and tried to smile. The diners went back to their spaghetti and conversation. Oh, but Charles and Sammy, after one wistful look at his meatballs, Charles got up and headed for the door with his best friend right behind him. If Max was lost, they had to find him, no matter how hungry they might be. After all, he was only a little tiny kitten. Where did he see him last? Mom was asking Lizzie's these questions as the search party, Mom, Dad, Charles, Sammy, the little boy, and of course Maggie, hurried down the hall towards the recreation room. Which way do you think he went? Have you tried when Maggie searched for him? Actually, the little boy said in a very serious voice, we weren't paying very much attention to him for a few minutes. Lizzie was demonstrating how to teach Maggie to shake hands. Mom smiled at the boy. What's your name, little fella? She asked. Actually, it's Evan. Evan was very young, maybe 5. But when he talked, he seemed older. Charles even thought he had a pretty good vocabulary for a kindergartner. He smiled back at Evan, but Evan didn't smile back. Instead, he bit his lip as if he was about to cry. Don't worry. Charles told Evan. We'll find Max. Just as Mr. Baker bustled up. I hear one of our guests has gone missing! He wasn't laughing for a change. Evan nodded. Max ran away! We have to find him! He's the best kidnapper! Actually, I love Max. He's so entertaining! Well, now, Mr. Baker knelt down to look into Evan's teary eyes. I don't want him outside. And the nest isn't that big. Don't worry, Evan. I'm sure we can find him. He stood up and shook his head. The poor little guy. I hope he's not scared. Funny. I was just thinking that perhaps we could adopt him here. After all, he can be separate from his partner, that is. Charles reached down and patted Maggie. Evan's face lit up when he heard that, and Charles and Lizzie grinned. Excellent. But maybe they already found a home for one of their foster pets. Then they lost both their smiles. Before they could think about finding Max a home, well, let me tell you what, folks. They had to find Max. At that moment, Maggie stopped in her tracks. Her ears went up and her tail stuck straight up. She sniffed the air and cocked her head if she was listening hard. She then sniffed again and began to whine. My friend, he's nearby. I know that smell. I know that sound. Follow me. We have to find that little guy right now. Maggie pulled on her leash, dragging Lizzie along as she dashed down the hall. She turned a corner, galloped down another hall. She was barking and whining as she ran. Evan grabbed Charles' hand and pulled him along. Everybody ran after Maggie. Then the big puppy skidded to a stop in front of a closed room, and everybody gathered around her. That's my family's room, Evan told Charles. It's where my mom, my dad, my sisters, and me sleep. Mr. Baker knocked on the door. Nobody answered. Maggie whined and barked some more. He's in there! My little friend is in there! Let us in! Let us in! Mr. Baker knocked again. No answer. Everybody groaned. Ugh! What's going on? Asked a woman who had just come up behind Charles. Mom! Evan said. I think Max is in our room! Evan's mom raised an eyebrow, but she didn't ask any questions. Instead, she just stepped forward and unlocked the door. I was just trying to get a sweater, she was saying. But if there was a kid in here, wouldn't I have seen him? Maggie pushed past her. The pup ran straight over towards a tall dresser in the wall. She she put both paws up on the top drawer and barked. Arf, arf! In here! My friend is stuck inside! Somebody help! Help! Evan's mom was staring at Maggie. My goodness, she said. That's the drawer where I took my sweater out of. What's going on here? She opened the drawer, and Max swept out. The tiny black kid was meowing at the top of his little lungs. It's about time. It was dark in there. I was scared. Max! Evan yelled. Maggie was already licking her friend. Evan got on the floor and hugged both animals at the same time. Evan's mom shook her head. The kid must have jumped in there when my back was turned. Unfortunately, Maggie knew just how to find him. Evan said. Actually, she's a hero. Now Maggie was licking his face. Evan looked so happy, snuggling with the playful kitten and puppy. She sure is, Charles agreed. That makes 2 rescues for Maggie. He told Evan and his mom about the time Maggie had helped Max get down from the Christmas tree. Like Evan patted Maggie some more, Charles looked around the room. There was a set of bunk beds among the wall. A big bed perfect for Evan's parents against another, 2 dressers, 1 comfy chair, and a small table filled the rest of the space. Charles must have imagined how it looked like if he lost his own house. He would have to live in one small room with his family. It would not be easy, but having a friendly animal to cuddle with would sure make it feel more like home.